Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to the first day of the repair, not even a build really, repair of the new project. We have a name for the project. Let's make a start, let's show you what we're going to do today and tell you how I came about the name. You're not going to like it. Let's go. Right, okay, so today is Bank Holiday Monday, and it is just starting to speckle with rain, which is really good. We're going to have a go today and see if we can get this running. Now, I don't think it's going to work, but we'll come on to that in a second, and the name. The battery I took out of the car, I had it on repair overnight, on Friday night I think it was, and last night I put it on to charge. And it's up there at the moment. Now I don't know whether that means I don't think that means it's fully charged. I've got a feeling it's knackered, this battery. I think I'm going to have to get a new one, but I wanted to give it half a chance to see if it would charge, and then of course whether it will hold a charge. But that's that. So as you saw, it's well, no, as you didn't see unless you follow me on Instagram, the car, apart from down there and places like that, and in the door shuts, generally the car is clean now. Cleaned without hose pipe, because we've got a hose pipe ban, even though one of my neighbours was jet washing their driveway yesterday, their patio yesterday, despite the hose pipe ban, but then they don't care. Anyway, that's another issue. But yeah, it's relatively clean now, and it looks much nicer than when it was absolutely rotten. So it's actually in pretty good condition, to be fair. But let's just jump in it for a minute, and then we'll go through what we're calling it, and what we're going to try and do, and just to make some comments on the answers to some of your comments on the first video. So bear with me, we'll swap you around, jump in the car, and then we'll have a quick chat about it, and then we'll get on with it. Okay, it's just started raining, typical. Just started to come out to do the car. It is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, lunchtime-ish. I've been into town today, ordered some new glasses. I'm now, 2 pairs of glasses, I'm now £440 lighter. Oh, deep joy. So yeah, so going back to the walk around video, I'm trying to think what some of your comments were now. A lot of it was around the name. We'll come onto that in a sec. Excuse the sniff, I've just been sneezing. Yeah, so the comments about what might be the problem down here. Now, as we know, the remote key is not locking or unlocking the door. It's not doing anything. And of course, neither key is starting the car. So what some of you have suggested is that whoever stole this car and destroyed the barrel have used the OBD port and have programmed some new keys into it and disabled the original keys. Now, as far as I'm aware, like when I've had keys cut before, the locksmith has said to me, do you want me to disable the other keys? And I've said, yeah. You may as well. Why would a thief bother doing that? Doesn't seem to be any point, even if they were able to. Can understand them if they wanted to program some new keys in so they could use the keys. But maybe they're stupid thieves, because normally when I've on my Project Sport that I bought, I think it was 2020. I rewatched that video yesterday of me doing the ignition, and pretty much what I've got to do now. And that had the same thing with it not turning over, not just not starting, but not turning over. And the same thing on that, it had the symbol up, the lock symbol up, as this one has. Now, when I've turned it over on here and it's actually gone, it's clicked. It's clicked before that symbol has come up. So the ECU is sort of not reading the fact that it's the wrong key. It turns over for about 1 second, and then the thing comes up and it stops. So there is a possibility that they've locked the original keys out. That is a distinct possibility, although I'm not convinced that's the case. I need to get it done today, because if I do need to get the ECU either the keys reprogrammed or a complete new set of keys, then I need to contact the locksmith and get that arranged to do. I'm hoping that's not the case, because I mean, if he can reprogram the key I've got, so I've got the new key with the new lock set, which I'm going to install in a minute. So whether he can reprogram a new chip and put it into the existing key, or whether he can reprogram the chip that's in it, I don't know. If he can't do that, I'll have to have a complete new set of keys. I don't know until I look at this wire. And what I'm hoping is that they've done something with the wiring, cut wires, joined wires, like it was on the previous car, and that's why it's not recognising the key to, you know, even to unlock it. And I can't remember with the other car whether I could lock and unlock it or not. I really can't remember, and I didn't look at the first video of that, but I really can't remember if that was the case. From memory, as far as I can remember, that wasn't the case, but I'm really not sure. So we really need to just get on with it, really. Get the airbag off, get the steering wheel off, get the clock spring off, look at all those wires, put the new, get the ignition barrel off by cutting those shear bolts and unscrewing them. Yeah, and then look at the wire. Once we look at the wire, and we can hopefully tell whether it's going to be an issue or not. So obviously the circuit board from the old key, the existing key, needs to go into the new key. It won't work with the old one because obviously the ECU doesn't recognise the key for the new lock. It will go in and it will turn, but it obviously won't start. So we have to hope that by doing that it's going to work. If not, then it's going to be, if the wiring's correct, it's going to be called to the locksmith. But we won't know until we get that done, as I said. So we'll do that in a second. So just finally, before we get on with that, I just want to talk about the name for the car. So we've got a name. You may have seen it from the thumbnail that I've given it a name. Okay, so how did we come about the name? So the car was stolen, as you know, stolen, recovered. So it was stolen by a tea leaf being a thief. And rhyming slang for thief is tea leaf, and rhyming slang for tea is Rosie Lee. So I've decided to call this car Project Rosie. And I can almost hear you all groaning behind your tablets, phones, TVs, etc., whatever you're watching me on. I can hear you groaning now. Probably a few of you swearing as well. Probably a few of you calling me stupid names. Don't blame you. But yeah, that's the name. So this is Project Rosie. Welcome to Project Rosie. There were some other suggestions. Smithy was one of them. I can't remember what the other ones were now, based on the registration number, I think. But yeah, it's Project Rosie. I prefer giving them girls' names as well, actually. But yeah, Project Rosie, welcome to Project Rosie. Enough waffling. Let's get on. I'll set you up. It's raining, but I'll try and set you up. I think it stopped, actually. I'll try and set you up on a tripod and we'll try filming this. I might put a tripod over there, actually. Put it on the seat or something. Yeah, so I want you to be able to see as much as you can. So I'm going to do it in as much as I can in real time. Because I know I've had problems in the past getting a screwdriver on that shear bolt once I've cut the slot, I'm going to take off the heater controls and the white panel, dash panel, because it's easier. That gets in the way, basically. So I'm going to take those off, get them out of the way. Once I've done that, I'll set up to record and we'll do it. So with no further ado, welcome to Project Rosie again. Let's get on with it. Right, I've just so I've got the panels off, as you can see. I've just taken that off, which was broken, because obviously they force these off. I have got spares of these, but the bit that you actually need is still attached to the clock spring. So I'll probably they're only sort of plastic welded on there, so I'll probably just glue them back together. There's no need to. Same for the bottom one, I think. Probably that's been broken as well. Now I'm just having a look at the wires down there. I can't see any broken wires, you know, down there. So I think it is just a matter of the fact that they've probably programmed those keys out. But we'll see. Anyway, first thing I've got to do, or the next thing I've got to do, get the steering wheel off. Get the airbag off, rather. Then get the steering wheel off. So we'll release this first. You've seen me do this a million times, but I'm going to do it anyway. Screwdriver in there just to pop it off. It does actually tend to be, the side ones come off a lot easier than the bottom one. Doing the side ones first for some reason. Something's getting in the way. What's that? Come on, turn. Why is that one? Not a good start. There we go, that's one. So I always used to lever these outwards, or was it inwards? Then I discovered you can just turn the screwdriver. There you go. Oh, the other one had come off. Right, the battery is obviously disconnected. Push the tabs in, prise that out, and the same goes on that one. Always challenging, often challenging to get those out. Oh, and we've got the horn as well, of course. No steering controls on this one, obviously it's a pop. So I'll put that down there for now, out of the way. And we need to get the, obviously no steering lock. We need to get the 24mm socket to get the bolt off. So bear with, I'll be back. Right, okay, so we've got 24mm. Now the only issue getting the bolt off is because normally you'd have the steering lock on, which gives you your resistance against it to break the bolt. But of course, when you do that, it turns. So I've got to try and grip it with my knees. There you go. So take that off. Put all these in a nice safe place down here, and then the steering wheel pull off. Feed the wires through, and then we need to get the clock spring off as well. Stick the steering wheel up there. Clock spring, as you know, you've got one Torx bolt which is up there somewhere. You can get your finger on it and find your way to it. There it is. Just there. Well, I'm getting this in, aren't I? Yep. It's there somewhere. Where is it? I can feel it. I can't get this thing on the end of it. Come on, where are you? Am I in the right place? Feel it with your finger. Where is it? There it is. Just there. Huh. In? Yeah. That's it. So undo that. I've noticed that the airbag. Oh, it's just turning. I don't want to round it off. I'm just going to get another one of these and maybe try and do it with a socket. Bear with me while I do that. I don't want to round it off and then not be able to get it off. Right, I've got my socket wrench. That's it. Trouble with those, trouble with these things is I've had these for so long, they're so well used that they're a bit worn at the end. And I think sometimes if they're a bit too tight, they slip. So the socket's probably a much better option. You don't need to take that out, although sometimes it does fall out. Just loosen it off. As long as you've loosened it off enough, actually we'll take the electrical connections off. I'm hoping to see broken wires here. Really am. See, we've got the two screws here. These are the. This is the bracket for the top bit, the top cowling. So we'll take that off in a minute, and we'll get that super glued back on. I think we're going to have to undo that a bit more. I haven't undone it enough. It doesn't matter if it does come out. If it does come out, you can just once it's off, you can just threadle it back in and do it up. But I don't think I've loosened it quite enough. I think that's in. That should be, it's fallen out now, so sometimes it does need a little bit of encouragement. It doesn't want to come off. The clamp is loose. Yeah, it's coming, I think. God, blimey, this is tight. I don't think I've ever had one this tight before. Don't want to lose the screw. So I'm going to put that straight back in once I've got this off. Right, let's give it another go. Oh, it's tight. Oh, here we go. There we go. Right, wires. Okay, so the cables are on, okay. The cables look fine. Unplug those. Before I go any further, I'm going to put the bracket back on. Right then, now it's time to inspect the wiring. So that wiring has not been damaged at all as far as I can see. There are no wires been cut. We'll get these plugs out. Blue and grey, which is what it should be. Pretty sure
that these have not been touched. Yeah, they haven't been touched. So we have to assume, I mean, it could be that this is damaged so much that is causing the problem. We've got the plastic ring. The plastic ring is connected. The plastic ring is not damaged. The wires are not damaged. So I think we can safely assume that this is probably not going to work. But we've got to do it anyway. But even if it means that we have to get the locksmith round, I think that's probably going to be the case. But we'll do what we've got to do. Yeah, we'll do what we've got to do, and then we will, well, try it, I suppose. Right, I've cut the groove with my little Lidl's machine. I put a new blade in. It goes through them quite easy. That one's a challenge to do, but I managed to just get it turned a little bit, and then you just can unscrew. And what I normally do is, because you muller this one a little bit more, is I know we will put new ones in, but for the time being I'll just swap them over. Just put the one that's a little bit more mullered in the top, because the top one's easy to get undone. In fact, let's do that one first. See what I mean? Actually, I think I have actually got some new ones of these. So it's just that one to undo. Let's try the other screwdriver, it's a bit shorter. Always quite awkward to get these. You have to get the groove quite deep on this back one, because you're doing it at a bit of an angle. You can't really, there's not much else you can do. It doesn't want to come out by fingers yet. It is turning, but gradually. I'm not going to bore you with any more of this. As soon as we get it off, I'll come back. I'm actually not even sure. Oh yeah, of course, that piece is out. I'm not even sure whether this is broken. Don't think it is, because normally these get broken. But I don't think it actually is, so I will actually keep that bit. The one we've got has got the lock in it, and it's intact. But obviously, yeah, no, this one, they normally do get broken, but this one actually certainly seems to be intact, so I will keep that for future, because no doubt I will get one in the future rather, where this is broken, and I can use this one. So what I'm sort of hoping is something along the electrical connection side on this is broke, really, even though, you know, I'm saying it's not broken, it's not physically broken, but I'm sort of hoping it is. But I think I'm clutching at straws, to be perfectly honest with you, because all of these wires are all intact, every single one of them. There's nothing wrong with any of these. These have not been tampered with at all. So I think we can safely say this ain't going to work. But we got to put the new ignition switch on anyway, with the new barrel. So let's do that. I'm just going to have to get it out of the boot. We'll put it on, connect it all up, put everything back. Do I need to put everything back to actually try it? Probably not, actually, as long as everything's plugged in. Do we need to plug the clock spring? And we'll plug the clock spring in without actually even putting it on the car. We'll try it. We'll give it a go. See what happens. Back in a sec. Right, so we got the new ignition switch. So we're going to put that in place. Like so. Actually, I'll put that one in there. No, actually, what I'll do is, for now, I'll put the one that's not quite mullered into the back, and then we'll put one of these ones which has not got a drill hole in it at all in. Actually, I'm not sure that's going to be enough to grip onto to turn it. It might be alright. yeah, it's going to take me a few minutes to do this because it's a bit tight, so back in a sec. Right, so that's all back together. New ignition barrel. We've got that plugged in. These just go into the clock spring, so I am going to plug these in, even though the clock spring's not on the car. I don't even think they need to be plugged in, but obviously we'll have an airbag intermittent error come up, but we don't care about that. We can just clear that. I need to get this ring off. Get the ring off there. I mean, the ring is not coded to the car. The ring is just, it just reads the code. It doesn't. The code is read by the body computer. If I can get this wire off. Actually, no, I won't bother. I'll just put that on. Get it in the right place. Not sure which way round it goes. There you go, like that. Right, so if we connect the battery up now, I've just got to plug that in as well. Again, I'd say I don't think this makes any difference to any operation of it. We may need to put the steering wheel back on just to, because obviously the steering lock is going to be on there, isn't it? Let's just try the key. Wrong key. So many keys. Right, we've got the key here, which is obviously in the new door lock. So put that there. There you go. Right, so let's give it a go. I'm going to reconnect the battery. I'm going to leave you recording. I'm going to reconnect the battery, and then we'll try it. I told you I'd try these things live with you for the first time. Fingers crossed, everyone. I know it's not going to go at the moment because we've got to change the chip for the original one. But we'll give it a go. Let's try it. I just want to see what happens, really. I think I know what's going to happen. It's going to just click. The lock symbol's going to come up. And it's going to click. Which is what it was doing before, and what it was doing on the other car before I changed the things over. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. Are you watching? I'm not even sure you can see there. Let's try zooming you in on the screen a little bit if I can. Actually, you know what? Let's take the camera off a bit and we can show you properly. Bear with. Right, ready. You ready for this? Let's unzoom. Lock symbol comes up as you'd expect. Just there. Not in gear. Nothing yet. So that's exactly what I expected to happen. What we're going to need to do now is change those chips over and try that, see what that does. Right, so that's the original key, so I've got to take the chip out of that key and put it in this key. So the other alternative is we swap the blades over, but I'm gonna swap the chips. Right, we're set up now, connecting to the body computer. See what comes up. If anything. Is there going to be errors, do you reckon? Don't know. Really don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, blimey. Rear window wiper control, present. Key transponder, present. Key transponder. Now the key transponder is this. Battery voltage, open circuit, intermittent, engine control. I mean, these are all these top ones in blue. These are all intermittent. Mini crypt. I never know what mini crypt is. I haven't got a clue what mini crypt is. I should Google it, really. So, key transponder is shown as present. Now, A fault is present in the indicator component connected to the body computer via the CAN line. The problem can be caused by the node to which the component is linked, a bad connection, wrong or missing system configuration, which is I reckon what we have, or a defect in the device itself. Check the connections and wiring on the device itself and ensure correct system configuration with the CAN info. The fault is present now. So, let's just clear the errors. I'll be interested. Yeah, it's gone out. I'm clearing the errors. It's gone out, that light. Wouldn't it be fantastic if it didn't come back? No fault codes. Should we turn the key? Nothing. Nothing. Let's turn it off and then back on again. It's going to come straight back, isn't it? It hasn't, funnily enough. Oh, key transponder, yeah. Although the lock symbol hasn't come up. That's interesting. Oh, airbag failure. Yeah, we know about that, so I don't care about that. So yeah, key transponder. So I think we can safely assume that that is the keys have been pre-programmed. So it's not that there's a fault on it, it's the fact that it's been fiddled with. But it's interesting that the light's gone out. That is interesting. So I haven't called him yet, but I just thought I'd log onto the body computer, look at the parameters, and when we come down to here we see number of enabled keys 1, number of disabled keys 2. So I think we can safely say that's probably what's happened. So yeah, so obviously we've got 2 keys with the car, but they've been disabled and someone has enabled another key. So someone who knows what they're doing has stolen this car. Even though they destroyed the ignition, they were able to start it, run it. Wonder how long they had it for. I'll have to have a look, see when it was stolen, if we can find that out. Last used key number, whatever that means. Last key ID, key identification not valid, key transponder valid. So that says the key transponder is valid, so the transponder's worked. Number of stored remote controls 1, latest used remote control 2, last used remote, so it's got IDs in there. So remote control battery is okay. Doors lock remote control button released. 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 Interesting. Sorry, the sun's on this now. I'm not even sure you can see this, but yeah. So I reckon that the it has been disabled. That immobiliser light keeps coming up, flashing on sometimes, and then going off again. It's strange because it was on all the time before. That's really weird. So that's good. Well, no, I'm not saying that's good. That sort of validates what we think is the case, doesn't it? So ECU status. So although it says it's faulty, I just don't think it's because it's faulty. It's because they've disabled the keys. Unbelievable. Never known that happen before. Oh well. So I've sent Roy the locksmith a message explaining to him what's happened. I tagged him in an Instagram post as well. Even whether he sees that or not, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just waiting for him to reply now. Don't know when he's going to be able to come. But I've put the front and the rear number plates on. I'm sort of loath really to do any more at the moment. I need to get it running first, ideally. Tomorrow I'm going to be working on Project Holly, trying to get Project Holly finished now. And this one will be the backup one, obviously, but I want to get it moved. I mean, it's not in the way or anything particularly. It's, you know, part where it should be. So, but obviously I just want to get it sorted now because it won't take long to get this done. And I could be doing other things in the meantime. If for some reason Roy's away or can't come for a few days, then I will carry on and do other things. I won't be able to take the seats. No, actually I probably could. I'd say I wouldn't be able to take the seats out, but obviously I can always take them out from this side if need be. Not ideal, but I want to get it moved really. So we'll see, but we will. battery disconnected, I thought I'd just have a little look at this, because this is such a state. So I'm going to have a look at it and see if we've got any broken wires. Obviously there have been in the past, but whether we have now or not remains to be seen. So we'll have a good look at this. I'm not going to start repairing it now if there are, but I need to get a pair of scissors to cut that, I think. But this looks like a right dog's dinner. What on earth is all this crap? Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh, I see. So they've joined. I don't know what they've done. Till I get all this tape off, I really don't know what they've done. I mean, it may be all okay, because it has been joined with something. I'm not sure whether they've used solder joints or what they've used here. We need to get all this off, because I will put the fabric tape around this rather than using this stuff. And then I'll use cable ties. Yeah, they have been repaired. So they've individually wrapped each wire. So I think they're actually okay. Can't see any breaks. Can't see any breaks at all. So that's, oh, here we go, there's some, yeah, so they have been soldered, although they haven't used solder joints, they've just soldered them. But they are intact, but they are a little bit open to the elements. So what I might do is break those. They've actually put extra bit of wires in, made them longer. What a mess. So see the bit, let's just take you off zoom a minute and then we'll get in close. Bear with. Oh, it's very slow. Right, so you've got this thick black wire here, as you can see some of it's still showing. So it's obviously been repaired here. I'll take this off in a second. Same goes there. Got a bit there showing. We have got a broken wire here, a green one. I don't know where the green one is down here. You know what? I almost feel like I should get the repair kit. Maybe I will. It's a bit of a mess. I don't know where the other end of this green wire is. It's a bit difficult doing it one-handed as well. I have to show you this. So this wire here, the one that's not connected to anything, if I can get in there, is this one. It's green and brown. Okay. So I was looking down here and I can't find a green and brown wire that's not connected to anything. And then I found, difficult one hand. Then I found this one, which is green and brown. It's got a black wire connected to it, which they've obviously put in, and it comes up here, goes round, I'm trying to do it one-handed, not that bit, here. So it goes round to here, and it joins in, so you've got a thicker black wire there, and a thicker black wire there, and they've got that wire also joined into that. So that wire should be joined to the green one, not into there. So what on earth have they done? It's a complete and utter bodge. Wouldn't surprise me if that's why the bloody thing don't start. But no, it can't be that, because that was obviously, you know, it started fine before it was stolen. So, but they must have been having problems. But yeah, don't know what that is, that wire, but it appears that that's connected to completely the wrong place. That is definitely the green and brown. So they've run that. Why on earth would they join it to something completely different, which has already been joined to its original wire? It makes no sense. It's difficult to show you in here, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. So I'm going to take that off, and then I'm going to join it to where it should be for the time being. Just put some more green wire over some of the exposed wires, and then we'll get one of these kits ordered and we'll do it properly. Wow, what a mess. Right, there you go. I've temporarily disconnected that wire there. That was the one that was connected to that, wrongly, to that green wire. And I've just put bits of tape around them to protect them, and I've joined the green wire to the green wire, the green and brown wire to the green and brown wire, just put some tape around it just for the time being. I've reconnected the battery, but I had a better idea, which is also a cheaper idea as well. As you know, I've changed numerous boots, and when you get a boot, they come with the cable usually attached. And what I've done is, I believe, I've got 2 or 3 boot cables. Now, I know when I've broken cars up, I always take the cable off, but I think I actually know, because I always leave it in the boot, don't I? But I cut it off just there, up there, rather than cut it off like a lot of people do, just there, because sometimes you'll use, well, no, usually you'll use the loom that's in your car if it's okay, and just unthreadle it and then put the new one through. But I'm pretty sure I've got complete looms, including all the plugs and everything, in my box of cables and stuff. So I'm going to have a look, see if I've got it, and if I have, then I can take the back panel off and then join it there like I've done before, and then just run it through, and you'll have, like, you know, where all the broken wires is, rather than putting a repair in there. It'll be completely new, and it'll just be joined in the car. That's a much better way of doing it. So I will have a rake through and see what I've got. I'm pretty sure I've got it, which will be good. So the boot is up at the moment, but I've reconnected the battery. I'm just going to put the ignition on, and I'll put the clock spring back on, by the way. Oh, I can hear the wiper going now. So I'm wondering if it was the wiper. Boot open, obviously. That's because it is. Airbag, yeah, that's because the driver's airbag's not on. Oh look, I reckon that was that. I reckon that brown and green wire was that, because that's now in its proper position. Can you believe it? I wonder how long that's been like that for. Incredible. So hopefully, if I just carefully wrap those up for the time being and then close the boot, hopefully they'll be all okay until such time as I get round to doing that bit. Fingers crossed. What a mess, can you believe that? I must take a picture of that and put it on Instagram. Okay, so you saw Roy the locksmith has been and gone, and what we have, watch this, it unlocks. You put the keys in the ignition, and the giveaway sign is when you hear that, where you can hear the fuel pump making a noise, and then if we turn the key, ta-da, it starts. Airbag failure. Of course, we got an airbag missing. There we go. How much petrol we got in it? Not a lot. Obviously, we've got the airbag light on. Yeah, so done. So there's a rattle coming from the front now. Hope that's something that's just come unbolted. So we've got 2 keys. I decided to get 2 keys done. So we've got a remote key, and we've also got a normal spare as well. So that takes us back to having 2 keys. So none of the keys that I had were of any good. Roy told me something I didn't know actually about the remote controls on Fiats. The immobiliser and the remote, you know, to open and shut the doors, they are 2 separate parts of the same circuit board, and they're programmed separately. I didn't know about that. That's interesting fact for the week. But yeah, so it had to have we had to have new keys, basically 2 new keys, and that is now done. What is that down there? Oh no, it's part of the seat rail. So yeah, it starts now, which is great, absolutely great. So yeah, 200 quid for 2 keys, cut and programmed. Yeah, so we need to find out what that rattle is, but we won't worry about that for the time being. I need to get the airbag on and get the steering wheel back on. So I'll disconnect the battery and we'll set up and we'll get that done. Keys. Gone off now. Oh. Runs really well. Yeah, runs great. But I tell you what though, those brakes are not grinding, and I don't think that it's because it hasn't been driven for a while. I reckon they're down on the rivets, as we used to say. Yeah, I'll have to inspect those. Well, obviously I would have inspected them anyway, but yeah, sooner rather than later. I imagine it's certainly going to need new pads by the sounds of it, and possibly, going by the sound of it, it's going to need discs as well. So I might have to order some of those, but I'm not going to order them yet. I'll wait and see first. So now we can have a proper look at this side. So this little dig here is nothing much, really, is it? Nothing much at all. I might actually see if I can push it out from the other side. Don't think I will. Probably better just to get a bit of filler in there. I think that's probably better. Yeah, bit of paint off there anyway, so it's broken the paint, so yeah, we'll do that. But that's nothing much. Seals are all okay, which is great. That's always a worry with these. But it's nice to have a straight one for a change, actually. Everything lines up properly as it should. Makes a nice change, you know. The end part of the bonnet meets where it should, and so do they, and the gaps are all perfect. You know, as it came out of the factory, it's nice. We can never get them. Very rarely do we ever get them back like that. Very rarely. But yeah, now we've got it facing the right way. Won't take long to do this. Won't take long to do this at all. Is that tiny? I think that might have been appeared on the MOT actually. Tiny little chip there in the windscreen. Yeah, it's good actually. It's clean. It is, well, it's clean on the outside. Taint clean on the inside. Oh yes, I'm not sure if you saw it yesterday. I did some time lapse of me doing this. The reason I did it on time lapse is because I forgot to turn my microphones on. So everything I was recording, I've had to change to time lapse, just so you could see what I was talking about, or doing rather. But while I was doing it, when I took this off, this panel here dropped down and out, dropped that, and another one. The other one was an empty box, which was Ed Sheeran, but we got a Gary Barlow CD. I'm quite partial to a bit of Gary Barlow. So I'll keep that. So, what's that under the seat? What's that? Oh, a bit, the remnants of a phone holder by the looks of it. I thought that was another Gary Barlow CD then, but it's the same one. Yeah, nothing under there. Shame we ain't got any service books or anything, but here's what's left of a phone holder. So yeah, no, I'm really pleased with that. So after all that, it's cost me 200 quid, but you know, c'est la vie. Yeah, onwards and upwards. We'll soon get this car done. Won't take long at all. Quickly before we finish, obviously I showed you this earlier on in the video, and I've just done that temporary repair for the time being. But I did mention that I thought I had a loom, and I have. So as you can see, this loom here, this has got all the plugs on it. All the plugs on it. This is one I took out of one of the other cars. All the plugs on it. It's already all taped up, ready to go. And there's your nice virgin, untouched bit of the rubber gaiter, and then as you can see, it goes right back into the car. There's an earth lead there, and that will fit. It's down. It's sort of down here somewhere, I think it is, or is it up here? I can't remember now exactly. But basically, as it comes out into the car, it sort of goes down here, and it's somewhere around here where this all connects up. So I'll have to take the back seats out, which I was going to do to clean them anyway, and then we'll take that back panel out, and we'll get this done. So we'll have a proper undamaged. So I could have bought the repair kit, but seeing as I've got this, and I think I've got more than that as well, I think I've got other ones, we'll get that installed. We will do a completely separate video for that, because I'm going to do it live and it will take some time. Obviously I won't do it live for every single connection, but it will take a little while to do that, so I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. And I think personally, although you've got to unthreadle, my wife always tells me there's no such word as unthreadle. Unthread? I've got to take out, like I always do when I change the hatch, take out the wires, which is a bit of a pain, and then we'll cut it under there and join it. Now I think that's a better way than using these repair kits. Certainly a better way than doing this. But I think that's certainly a more permanent, and of course your repair isn't here or here, you know, just pushed into the car. It's inside the car, behind a panel, nice and safe, never going to come undone. Much better place to do it, I think. So rather than spending, I think, because they're normally available in Germany, and they're like 45, 50 quid, something like that. You know, how much, if you haven't even got one, if you haven't broken a car up like I have, and have got these taken out, you're better off getting onto someone like Club 500 and ask them for one of them. They'll probably sell you one of them for, I don't know, 15, 20 quid, I don't know. I think I've got a couple more of those, but I'm going to keep them. I'm never going to sell them, because I'm going to keep them, because, you know, what's the chances? I've done, out of all the cars that I've done, I think I've only ever had two that needed any work done. I've never had one this bad, but I think I've only had two. I've never had one that was bodged like that. That was complete and utter bodge. But that's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to do that, and we'll do a separate video. Might be the next video, might be the one after, not sure. Probably, to be fair, I think I'm probably going to do the inside next. Get this all stripped out, get that panel off, ready to do that. All stripped out, get these seats cleaned, get it all nice and cleaned inside. Then we'll do that damage down there. We'll give it a good clean, we'll check the brakes. Might give it a service. The oil looks a little bit black, so it's probably going to need a service. I have got no service history with this, so I need to try and track it down. I haven't received the logbook yet, so I'm going to ring Copart tomorrow morning and ask them. I know we've had a bank holiday in the way, but I just want to make sure they've actually sent it, because I wouldn't be at all surprised if they haven't. So once we got the logbook, we can look at the old MOT history and print those old MOTs out as well and see where they were performed. We can then do the usual thing where I can phone up all the MOT places and see if they've serviced it. So we can track the service history down like that. We can also track it down, as always, like we normally do. Oh, I was going to say via the number plates, but I've put new number plates on, which, number plates. I don't know if you've noticed, I bought these number plates, I put them on yesterday, and then realised they're the wrong number plate. I've emailed the bloke on eBay, and he hasn't come back to me. I've said to him, you've given me the wrong, I've taken a photo of him on the car like that, and I sent him a photo of when you order them. When you pay, you do an eBay message at the same time as you pay and give him the registration number. So I sent him a screenshot of that, and I sent him a picture of the car with the plates on. And then, I haven't heard back from him. So I've said to him, can you redo them? You thought he might have come back to me, but he hasn't. So I'm going to have to possibly start up an eBay dispute if he's not going to come back to me, which is not good. Hopefully, maybe he's just done them and he's putting them in the post. But yeah, I've had no eBay message today from him. So let's, anyway, that's it. It's on the wrong number plates at the moment. I thought I might as well leave them on. There's no point taking them off and having no plates on. It's not like it's on the road, so it's only on the driveway. But it would be interesting to see what SM12 VLD is. In fact, I will have a look and see what it is. This probably doesn't even exist, let alone being a 500. So yeah, so that's where we are. So, yeah, that's the end of day one of the rebuild. We've got not lots to do, but we've got lots of content for you on this one. It should be a quick turnaround. I only really anticipate it being 2 more videos, possibly 3. Third one being a short one possibly, but one for the seats and that dent, and then another one for doing that back thing. Maybe one for servicing and that sort of stuff. But we'll see. But that's the end of this one. So as always, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, don't forget, hit the button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And then we will see you next week. So until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.